From Daily Trust News Center, this is News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, President Buhari challenged to name governors that are misappropriating local government funds. Troops in Kaduna exchange fire with bandits, free 10 victims. IGP Usman Baba challenges court arrest, files motion before Federal High Court in Abuja. And on the international scene, Burkina Faso's junta leader confirms coup attempt. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Now we'll begin with Rivers State, where the governor, Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike, says he's not one of the state governors that President Muhammadu Buhari accused of dipping their hands into local government funds received from the Federation account. Governor Wike was reacting to allegations laid on Thursday by President Muhammadu Buhari at a parley with members of the Senior Executive Course 44 of the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies. The Rivers State Governor spoke at the inauguration of Ngbosi Mini Ring and Internal Roads in Rumuekeme Kingdom of Obiakpo local government area, saying President Buhari's accusation was an unfair generalization and urged him as a true leader to tell Nigerians those governors pilfering council funds.
I want to challenge Mr. President, you're a leader. And we believe as leaders, you must come out and tell Nigerians who are those committing this offense. You said the governors are taking local government. Don't say people are doing bad. Who are those who are doing that bad? Mention their names. It is a logical fallacy to say that all governors are criminals. All governors are stealing from local governments. I joined Governor Wike to say from 2015, let EFCC come in, let ICPC come, let every other agency that can unearth this, as far as Benue State is concerned, let them bring it out.
The presidency says the Niger Delta states that received the 13% derivation refunds from the federal government are Abia, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, Imo, Ondo, and Rivers states. A statement issued by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, on Friday, said the states received the refunds totaling 1.1 trillion naira from 1999 to 2021, where Shehu said the benefiting states still have an outstanding balance of 860.59 billion naira windfall from the refunds, which was approved by President Muhammadu Buhari. The three largest benefiting states were Akwa Ibom, 1.6 billion naira, Delta State, 1.4 billion naira, and Rivers State, 1.32 billion naira. The presidential spokesman said President Buhari considered it a matter of honor and decency that debts owed to states or anyone for that matter be repaid and in time without regards to their partisan politics or political affiliations. He added that the president would continue to render equal service to all the states of the federation, stressing that the refunds to the oil-producing states will continue. Chairman of the Ibadan Depot of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Bukola Mutiu, has blamed the scarcity of petroleum products on payment glitches associated with the procurement of fuel. He said this during a consultative meeting with labor leaders where they resolved that the government should urgently intervene. Samson Adeshumbo sent in this report, which is presented from our studios.
The past few days have been most hectic for motorists and commuters across the country, who have had to once again have to bear the brunt of the scarcity of petroleum products. Worse hit are the masses who have had to spend man-hours at the fuel dispensing stations and are unable to access the product. Despite Nigerians' enormous deposit of crude and other natural resources, the citizens are daily confronted with recurring scarcity of petroleum products. They are asking the federal government to be more proactive.
They sell for a high price. They sell for 280, 260, even 300. So it has really affected us. In fact, all our passengers, the way we don't carry the normal price again. And they complain a lot.
Man, it's hell now. Like yesterday, I bought 280. So I was going to office this morning. I've not even got to the office now at 11. I was supposed to resume by 8 o'clock. I got here around 7:30 to 8, and I'm still here by 11.
The one I bought from Abeokuta is 280 per liter. Okay. Where are we going? Where are we heading to? What causes the sudden problem? The sudden increase. I've been buying fuel now. It's like the fuel is even dry. Apart from dry, today 260, today 280. What is government doing about it?
The consultative meeting between independent marketers and labor leaders in Ibadan is a strategic attempt at finding a lasting solution to the lingering crisis. The independent marketers and labor leaders resolved that government should be more sensitive to the yearnings of the masses, who are mainly at the receiving end of the hardship. They want more functional refineries and increased investment in the downstream sector.
Having shortage of supply because we have been denying of having direct payment to NNPC, remitter, portal that we normally requested and pay. For over 6 months now, none of the existing marketing companies that duly licenses with NNPC have been given any authority to pay.
I want to advise the federal government and tell them vehemently that whatever measure they have employed as regards to the restructuring happening in NNPC is not having human face. It's not having human face in the sense that it has added to the suffering on the masses. It's not helping anybody.
The call by Ipman and the NLC in Oyo State clearly show that the real truth behind the scarcity of petroleum product is still not clear.
On security, police in Zamfara State have arrested 7 suspected terrorists, including a gun runner who has been transporting arms and ammunition to a terrorist kingpin identified as Dawa. In the course of making the arrest, police personnel in collaboration with Vigilante rescued 15 kidnapped victims who were abducted at a DK village in Funtua local government area of Katsina State. Adamu Silas reports.
First take, the suspected female gun runner, Gaje Abdallah, is an indigene of Madachi village of Katsina State, northwest Nigeria. Information implicated her in the supply of arms and ammunition to a terrorist leader named Dawa, who has been tormenting innocent citizens in Zamfara State and its neighboring states. The 6 other suspects were arrested for pretending to be terrorists and imposing levies on their host communities, extorting millions of naira through an account which they created for the purpose.
This time around, we have about 7 suspects. 6 is for banditry, intimidation, threat, and extortion of innocent communities.
The police public relations officer, Superintendent Muhammad Shehu, explained that police tactical operatives and vigilante acted on intelligence that 15 persons were abducted by suspected terrorists at DK village in Funtua, local government area of Katsina State. He said the police then quickly mobilized to the location and conducted search and rescue operations at Sabongari, Roots and Kaura Forest in Denjiba, district of Afe, local government area of Zamfara State, and successfully rescued the 15 abducted victims, Hale and Haithi.
And this effort, or this reiteration, can be seen through various commitment and determination of the police command by arresting notorious criminals who have been terrorizing the people of Zamfara State, recovering numbers of arms and ammunition, and also rescuing kidnapped victims.
The Commissioner of Police, CP Kolo Yusuf, has commended the police operative and vigilantes for their successful rescue operations and reiterated command's continuous determination to rid the state of criminal activities and apprehend criminal elements in the state.
Kaduna State government has confirmed that security operatives have destroyed bandit hideouts in Birnin Gwari, Giwa, Igabi and Chikun local government areas and freed 10 kidnapped victims. Commissioner, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruan, confirmed this in a statement on Friday. The statement indicated that air component of Operation World Punch dislodged and destroyed bandits' hideouts in different locations in Kaduna State. The statement further said the operatives recovered motorcycles and dangerous weapons in Birnin Gwari local government area. Similarly, troops of Operation Forest Sanity conducted fighting patrols along the Yam, Kuriga, Manini, Udawa, Buruku Road in Birnin Gwari local government area and exchanged fire with the bandits who ran into the bush, while AK-47 rifle, 7 motorcycles, 9 rounds of ammunition, among others, were seized. Still on security, unidentified gunmen early Friday morning attacked a mosque in Ughelli, Delta State, leaving 11 worshippers injured. A resident told newsmen that the attack took place at about 6:47 a.m. when some Muslim faithfuls were holding their morning prayers at the central mosque located along Okoroda Street in Ughelli. The resident, who gave his name simply as Larry, said many residents were jolted from their sleep by gunshots, followed by loud cries from people inside the mosque. Larry said that some of the worshippers told residents that 3 of their fellow worshippers were taken away by the gunmen. When contacted, the Delta Police spokesperson Bright Edafe confirmed the attack and said only 11 worshippers were injured. He, however, did not confirm the alleged abduction of 3 worshippers. Operatives of the Amotekun Corps in Ogun State have arrested 2 suspects for being in possession of a carbonized human skull. The commandant of the Corps, David Akinremi, disclosed this in a statement on Friday, adding that operatives also arrested 4 other suspects for alleged kidnapping, cultism, conspiracy, and stealing. Akinremi noted that all the suspects had been transferred to Ogun State Police Headquarters in Leweran for investigation and prosecution. The suspects, Busari Aliyu and Adetayo Shegun, were arrested on Sunday, November 20, in Agumboye, Jebu-Ibo area of Ogun State. According to him, they specialize in exhuming corpses at the Agumboye burial ground, removing the skulls and later selling them to other members of their ritual gang. Still talking security, gunmen have abducted the Olosho of Osho, Ajowa Akoko in Akoko North Local Government Northwest Council area, Oba Clement Jimo Olukotun. Reports say the 6 gunmen invaded the 66-year-old monarch's place at about 10:15 p.m. on Thursday and whisked him away to an unknown destination. They reportedly shot sporadically and damaged the main door to the palace before entering into the monarch's bedroom. A palace source said that the doors to the palace were shot at severally before the bandits gained access into the inner chambers of the monarch. Although details of the incident are still sketchy, the police from the Divisional Police Headquarters at Okeagbe, headquarters of Akoko, Northwest Local Government area of Ondo State, have been deployed in the town to launch an investigation into the incident. The National Judicial Council has set up 15 high-powered probe panels to investigate alleged gross misconduct against 15 federal and state high court judges. The probe panels will determine the culpability of the judges in the various petitions filed against them by individuals and corporate bodies. A statement issued on Friday by the Director of Information, NJC, Soji Oye, in Abuja, said the decision to investigate the judges was taken at its 99th meeting, presided over by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola. The decision, the statement said, was sequel to the submission of recommendations of 3 preliminary complaint assessment committees, which considered 66 petitions forwarded to them by the council from across the Federation. But the statement did not name the judges to be probed, their divisions, and the nature of their alleged offenses. Away from that story, the wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, has withdrawn the case against Amina Mohammed, a final year student of the Department of Environmental Management, Federal University, Dutse. Mohammed, who hails from Azare in Bauchi State, was arrested by the police over a tweet that appeared to mock Mrs. Buhari. Mohammed was arraigned on a 1-count charge by the police before a Federal Capital Territory High Court on November 30. After taking his plea, the defendant was remanded in prison custody. At the court session on Friday, Fidelis Ogbobe, prosecution counsel, told the court that the First Lady decided to withdraw the case following the intervention of well-meaning Nigerians. Citing Section 108, subsection 2A of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, Ogbobe also moved an application for the withdrawal of the case. Delivering his ruling, Yusuf Halilu, the presiding judge, commended the First Lady for taking the bold step to withdraw the case. While issuing the defendant's release warrant, the judge urged parents to endeavor to always be aware of their children's activities. You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Academic Staff Union of Universities, Nnamdi Azikiwe University chapter, staged protest over unpaid salaries. Do stay with us.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Really, if you look at English squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
As part of security measures in place to ensure a secure resumption of the Abuja-Kaduna train route, the federal government has directed that the use of the National Identity Number, NIN, is now compulsory for passenger profiling when boarding the Abuja-Kaduna train service. All intending train passengers are to note the new ticketing guidelines. Existing profile owners are required to update their profiles with their NIN. Failure to update will reflect the profile as unverified. Where a profile is not verified, the intending passenger will not be able to purchase a ticket. All new profile registration will now require passengers to include their NIN. All tickets for minor passengers must be bought by an adult. Where the minor has no NIN, the minor passenger's ticket will reflect the NIN of the adult making the purchase. However, only the minor passenger's name will reflect on the ticket and will be verified during the ID check process. It is dangerous to use your NIN to purchase tickets for unknown persons. This may lead to criminal prosecution. Passengers are advised to conduct themselves orderly and avoid altercation with NRC and security officials, as defaulters will be duly prosecuted and severely punished. For NIN, simply dial *346# on your mobile phone and follow the prompts. This message is from the Nigerian Railway Corporation.
documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining us, you're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our stories. We told you that President Buhari challenged to name governors that are misappropriating local government funds. We also told you that troops in Kaduna exchange fire with bandits, rescues 10 victims. Moving to more news, Borno State government on Friday said 10 cholera patients are currently undergoing treatment in the northeastern state. The Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Arab Mohammed, disclosed this in Maiduguri while giving an update on the government's efforts in addressing cholera and other infectious diseases among the internally displaced persons relocated to liberated communities. He said the patients were being treated in government hospitals in the state capital, adding that immunization for measles is ongoing across camps and settlements in liberated communities. According to Mohammed, potable drinking water and healthcare facilities complete with drugs are provided in the IDP settlements. The Commissioner also received a 20-bed capacity healthcare facility constructed by partners on behalf of the state government at Bama, one of the liberated towns hosting thousands of IDPs. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has reproached the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clement Agba, for lack of understanding on how governors plan development projects in their various states. Governor Wike made the comment at the inauguration of a 13.86-kilometer road in Olua Rumodogo community in Emohua local government area. The report.
The Rivers State Governor said he disagrees with the minister's comment on governors being causes of poverty in Nigeria as they give more emphasis on building flyovers, airports and other projects in state capitals while neglecting to invest in rural communities to directly uplift the living standard of the people.
I've heard one of the ministers, I don't know which of the ministry, because I don't normally like to remember where they come, I don't know. With the service, the Minister of State for Budget or this and that, I don't know. You know, when they go on television, they open their mouth and talk anyhow. He said, oh, governors are the problem, they don't do rural roads. And I asked him, where and where have you been? You just sit down there. You have not been to anywhere to go and check whether there have been rural roads that have been done or not.
He then charged the people of Rumodogo to use their votes to choose leaders that will work for them and not allow themselves be used by selfish politicians.
A governor then that had all the money, God gave him all the money. He refused to do this road. And he said, we will not get money. He thinks that people of Rumodogo will still be backward. God said, no. The time has come for Rumodogo to be remembered. The time has come that people must know a community called Rumodogo. And today is your day. And you have to tell them, you will pay them back with your PVC card. You will pay them back for the suffer they gave to you. So what is my crime today? In the Niger Delta State, what did I do? What I said, God, I thank you for using Muhammadu Buhari to give me money to do this road I'm doing. Did I commit any offense?
Speaking on the road project, Rivers State Commissioner for Special Projects, Deima Iyala, said the Rumodogo 1 and 2 road is a rural road that will benefit agrarian communities for ease of movement, thereby increasing economic activities and enhanced property value.
Moving to politics, the All Progressives Congress Northern Christian leaders led by immediate past Speaker of the House of Representatives, retired Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, and Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, has adopted the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, as its candidate of choice ahead of the 2023 presidential election. The group of aggrieved APC members had openly rejected their party's same-faith ticket, which saw the emergence of Bola Tinubu as its presidential candidate and Kashim Shettima as the vice, both of whom are of the Muslim faith.
That were considered: the All Progressive Congress, the New Nigerian People's Party, the Labour Party, the People's Democratic Party. Our resolutions, therefore, from the votes that was put in, the forum, therefore, adopts the PDP and the Atiku Okowa presidential ticket as the right ticket to support in the 2023 presidential election. The PDP presidential candidate is a well-known talent hunter who has demonstrated capacity to hunt highly experienced talents across different sectors and bring them into government. The APC, as we all know, has fielded the same faith Muslim ticket, which excludes a large demography of Christians who do not feel represented by the ticket. And the forum hereby calls on all lovers of democracy
Jigawa State has been ranked as having the highest percentage of multidimensionally poor children in the nation at 73.9%. This was included in the results of the 2021 Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey, which was released in August 2022. The UNICEF Kano Chief Field Officer, Rahama Rihiod Mohammed Farah, disclosed this during the launch of the MICS 6 in Dutse, the Jigawa State capital. The research, according to Farah, is alarming because it reveals the precarious condition the kids are in and their bleak future. He said the survey results, however, show that the state has significantly improved in some indicators, such as child immunization coverage from 2011 to 2021, achieving a 37% decrease in under-5 mortality. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, Nnamdi Azikiwe University chapter, has staged a protest over unpaid salaries. They protested within the school's premises in Awka, the Anambra State capital. The report.
The protesting lecturers carried placards with different inscriptions around the school premises, chanting solidarity songs to express their displeasure. Students also supported the union and urged the federal government to do the needful. Addressing journalists, chairman of the union, Stephen Ofuaro, said weeks into their return to work after the 8-month strike due to intervention by the court, the government still refuses to honor the agreement and pay salaries arrears.
Some of them in power were given the opportunity to go abroad and study. Yes. Some of them, their parents are peasant farmers who cannot afford their education. But today they are in the position to make education free. But they are starving our lecturers, they are starving our students. When you starve a lecturer, you have starved a student.
Now we are asking that government must, as a matter of urgency, implement that agreement. We enter with government and then release the salaries of our members that have been withheld, because the work that we are not done when we're on strike are being done currently as we speak. We are going back to do the work we left before we went on strike, and we are doing the work.
Addressing the protesters, the Vice Chancellor, Charles Esimone, called on the government to, as a matter of urgency, pay up their salaries, as there could be consequences for the government's persistent negligence to the plight of the union.
And I commended them very strongly for their community, because people are spending hours, sleepless nights, teaching, trying to cover for the 8 months that was lost. Some in the process are down in health. A lot of people are falling sick now because of the pressure, trying to meet up with that work that we have not done. So we have not erred in any way. We have done our job and we're still doing our job. We're going to take this message to our employers, the governing council, so that they will in turn also make a strong statement to the government. The government need to consider the plight of all of us who are here. They need to consider the plight of academics in this nation. Whatever will be done to restore the dignity of academia is in the hands of our government, and I know they know what to do.
The university teachers are hopeful that the federal government will be in the coming days honor its agreement with the union and pay up the outstanding salaries.
The Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has filed a motion before Federal High Court in Abuja to challenge the contempt proceedings and committal order brought against him. The Force Public Relations Officer, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, made this known in a statement on Friday in Abuja. A Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Tuesday sentenced Baba to 3 months in prison for disobeying a valid court order. The court, in a ruling delivered by Justice M.O. Olajuwon, held that the IG should be committed to prison and detained in custody for a period of 3 months or until he obeyed an order it made since October 21, 2011. The IG's committal followed a suit filed by a police officer, Patrick Okoli, who was unlawfully and compulsorily retired from the force. Justice Olajuwon noted that though the Police Service Commission recommended Okoli's reinstatement into the police, a decision that was affirmed by the court, the IG refused to comply with the order. Away from that story, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Petroleum, Upstream and Governorship candidate of the Young Progressives Party in Akwa Ibom State, Senator Basi Akpan, has been sentenced to 42 years in a correctional facility by a federal high court, Uyo, for corruption. Senator Akpan, who was prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, has been taken to Ikot Ekpene Custodial Center, Akwa Ibom State, to serve his term. He was accused of receiving bribes for 12 cars worth 254 million naira from an oil marketer, Olajide Omokore, during his tenure from 2010 to 2014 as Commissioner for Finance in Akwa Ibom State. People living with HIV/AIDS in Bauchi have appealed to the government at all levels to redouble efforts in the fight against the scourge, despite the success recorded in increase of awareness and success in checking stigmatization. They made the statement as they joined people around the globe to commemorate World AIDS Day. Trust TV's Adamu Imam completes the report.
The awareness of the causes, impacts and even treatment of HIV and AIDS is quite high in Bauchi State. There has not been giant steps taken in resetting attitude, especially as it has to do with stigmatization of people living with the virus. But a lot still need to be done.
I think we have a lot of challenges. We lost a lot of life, and treatment will fail. Where people will have treatment failure, resistance will develop again. So the issue there is that the government should continue to keep into the HIV services, such as prevention and cure treatment.
Despite the challenges, representatives of donor partners are determined to meet up the target year to end the scourge in all ramifications.
And leading to also rendering people vulnerable, especially children who have lost loved ones from HIV. So this is a day that we take a look at the journey so far and see where we've been, how we've started, the progress that we have made, and then what is left for us to do in order to achieve the success that we want to have, which is epidemic control.
There are a lot of experiences in trying to meet this target.
The state had witnessed its first case around 1998. There was an initial unprecedented rise in the prevalence rate of the infection to 6.8% in 2001. which was above the national average of 5.2%.
In the past, nobody wants to come and identify as a HIV positive, and that was one of the things that led to the faster spread of the disease. But by the time some people came to start coming out to identify as HIV positive.
The underlying message to different stakeholders in the fight against HIV and AIDS is that they should be more committed in the support to people living with HIV in the state.
A one-story building located on Udensi Street in the Abakaliki metropolis has been gutted by fire. The fire incident, which started at about 1:30 p.m. on Friday, has left many tenants of the affected building devastated. Sources said the incident was a result of a surge in the voltage of the electricity supply in the area, which happened intermittently between 9 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. before the incident started. The controller of Ebonyi State Fire Service, Ibiam Raphael, confirmed the incident, saying work was still ongoing to put the fire off. It will seem that some of the new decisions taken by the new governor of Osun State is resonating well with some people in the state. The people of Ire Town on Friday applauded the decision of the new governor to remove their new traditional ruler, Oba Raphael Ademola. The kingmakers, ruling families and indigents of the town said the former governor, Adegboyega Oyetola, imposed the dethroned monarch on the town. Hamid Oyegbade files the report.
The controversy trailing the dethronement of the new traditional ruler of Ire Town in Osun State has assumed a dangerous dimension. Actionists have set the Are Palace ablaze. The new governor, Ademola Adeleke, nullified the appointment of the monarch, Oba Raphael Ademola Oluponle, and directed security operatives to take charge at the palace. But the burning of the palace does not indicate that the people are opposed to the new governor's decision. On the contrary, kingmakers, representatives of royal families and indigents are standing with the new governor as they accused the former governor, Adegboyega Oyetola, of imposing the dethroned Oba. One of the kingmakers, Sanusi Babawale, says he resisted attempt to compel him to endorse the selection process of the dethroned monarch. The agents of former governor came to my house when I was eating. They told me to sign papers for the selection of the dethroned Oba, but I did not sign. Representatives of royal families and the leader of women in the town are all in agreement that Governor Adeleke's decision on the RA stool is appropriate.
The governor of Osun State have already directed us that they don't want all these Yeye Obas, that they should cancel it. They tell us to close the palace.
Our own ruling house, Ojo Ayagaga, we are not happy about what is happening. Because the judgment of the court is what we are following.
So the kind of Oba that they impose on us, we don't want him. We don't want him at all, because the way he was selected is against the tradition, culture and custom of Ireland.
It is mourning situation now, so we cannot bring out drums. We will bring out drums when they do it in the right way. The people of the town are appealing to the new governor to be fair and follow due process in the selection and appointment of the new Oba for the town. Hamid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Oshogbo.
Well, thank you, Hamid, for that report. Now we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, the news continues.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
There are quite a couple of reasons. Number one, you are dealing with an economy that is currently in free fall.
People are worried about the economy. What are you doing? Nigerians will ask, how do we improve the economy of this country? Young men and women are going all over the country. They are jobless.
Second, you actually cannot move any economy forward for the greater number of Nigerians without making sure that they can feel safe and secure.
What people want to see today is who is capable of stopping this nonsense we call insecurity in this country.
Nations around the world have redefined the notion of national security. For modern countries, energy security, economic security, food security, environmental security, security from a military perspective are all very important components.
While you are still strong and active, you have to try and do what is right for you and for people you represent.
Welcome back to News Hour. Let's join Chiamaka Nwafo for business news. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has released a statement stating that the current series of 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1,000 Naira notes of the Naira remain legal tender until January 31st, 2023. The CBN said this on Friday via its Twitter handle, providing clarity about its irreversible decision to introduce new bills of the stated denomination. The statement dispels any false information peddled on social media about the Apex Bank's decision to either bring the non-acceptance of the existing denomination forward or extend the date beyond January 31st, 2023. The federal government has opened applications for the National Startup Investment Program. The program, which comes on the backdrop of the recently passed Nigeria Startup Bill, will be supervised by the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment in partnership with the African Development Bank, AFDB, and the Bank of Industry. According to the government, the goal of the 2022 program is to empower and create a baseline of 100,000 new businesses through funding and mentorship for new and existing businesses and business ideas. The program is designed for Nigerians between 18 and 65 years of age to assist them with seed capital. The average price of 1 kg of local parboiled rice surged the most in the South, South and Southwest regions, according to data from the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS. According to the data, South recorded the highest average price of 1 kg locally parboiled rice, which sells for 545 Naira and 3 kobo, followed by the Southwest at 519 Naira, 53 kobo. The lowest price of a kg of rice was recorded in the Northwest with 435 Naira and 6 kobo. According to the latest data from UN Food and Agricultural Organization, Africa's biggest economy, Nigeria, cultivated 8.2 million metric tons of rice paddy in 2020. The most recent reliable figures for production come from USDA, which has projected that Nigeria's rice production will reach 5 million tons in 2022, slightly above the 4.8 million tons it predicted last year. With this production, the country will still have a deficit of 2 million tons, with demand at 7 million tons, according to the Ministry of Agriculture. And finally, in stocks, at the end of trading on Friday, the Nigerian Stock Exchange a total of 159.83 million shares in 3,080 deals, corresponding to the market value of 5.04 billion were traded. Compared to the previous NGX trading day, Thursday, December 1st, data shows 8% decline in volume, but 7% improvement in turnover. The current market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange is 26.2 trillion naira. In the aggregate, 107 equities participated in trading, ending with 23 gainers and 14 losers. Regarding the performance of NGX market indices, the benchmark all-share index increased by 1.04% to close at 48,154.65 points. And that's it on Business News. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you, Chiamaka, for the business report. And with that, we'll move on to the international scene, where Burkina Faso's military chief captain, Ibrahim Traoré, spoke on a recent coup attempt against his government on Thursday and acknowledged that some army units desired to take control. After suspicions of a coup attempt against the interim government spread on social media last weekend, demonstrators posing as Traoré's supporters gathered in the city on Sunday night and Monday to voice their opposition to the supposed coup attempt. Speaking to representatives of civil society and the clergy in the nation's capital, Ouagadougou, Traoré claimed that while he is aware of the offenders, he prefers to engage them in dialogue as opposed to arresting them. The president requested everyone's help since, according to the report, certain forces are attempting to thwart government initiatives and lower morale. The captain asked the participants to be vigilant and be ready because the path to democratic rule will not be easy. Still on the foreign scene, Kenyan President William Ruto has suspended 4 electoral commissioners for refusing to certify the results of the most recent presidential election, which he won. The 4 officials could be fired from their positions as a result of the tribunal's investigation into them for flagrant misbehavior, major violations of the law, and incompetence, according to Ruto's announcement on Friday. However, Ruto's action has been denounced by opposition leader Raila Odinga as part of a government scheme to rig the 2027 elections. Ruto was proclaimed the victor when just 50.5% of the votes separated him from Odinga. However, 4 out of the 7 commissioners, including the vice chairperson, declared the results to be opaque and the tally to be incorrect. Moving on to sports, the Nigeria Paravolley Federation says plans are currently in top gear for the 2022 West Africa Sitting Volleyball Championship, with teams expected to arrive in Nigeria on December 10, 2022. The West Africa Paravolley sponsored competition will be hosted by the Nigeria Paravolley Federation. According to the schedule released by the Federation, the technical meeting for participating teams will hold on December 11, while the Para Beach Volley will be launched in Nigeria on December 12. Participating clubs from the Republic of Benin and Ghana have already been confirmed, while those from Sierra Leone, which will join their Nigerian counterparts in the first ever competition of the West Africa Paravolley, are still awaiting confirmation. Explaining the idea behind the competition, he said although it does not serve as a qualification for any international tournament, it is the first step for many federations within the West African sub-region to develop the sport within their countries. Let's now join Adeni Ajishafe for more in sports.
It was a medal rush for Team Oyo as Haruna Akamsoko won gold medal in Taekwondo Pumse at the ongoing National Sports Festival in Asaba. Team Oyo also won silver medal in table tennis team event. In female category, Team Nasarawa recorded its first medal as Agada Elijah and bronze medal in the Taekwondo Pumse individual at the multipurpose hall of Stephen Keshi Stadium. Team Delta defeated Team Oyo 3-0 in women's table tennis final to win gold. Fatima Bello beat Oyo Fatima Kazim 3-0 as Ajoke Ojomo fought hard to win 3-2 against Halima Hussein. Elsewhere, Team Edo claimed gold in men's 500-meter sprint cycling on day 2. And in football, South Korea scored a 91st minute goal against Portugal through Hwang Hin-chan to secure their spot in the round of 16 at the 2022 World Cup with a 2-1 success over Portugal in Group H. The Tagok Warriors appear to be heading out as they look set to draw Portugal while Uruguay led Ghana elsewhere. Before Hwang goal, Ricardo Horta had put Portugal in front in the 5th minute, while Kim Yong-won's goal put South Korea back to level terms. Meanwhile, Black Stars of Ghana squandered an early penalty against Uruguay in their decisive Group H match at the Al Janoum Stadium. Ghana captain Andre Ayew hit a feeble left-footed effort from the spot in the 21st minute, which was saved by goalkeeper Sergio Rochet, who had been adjudged after a lengthy VAR review to have brought down Mohamed Kudus, reviving memories of their 2010 World Cup heartbreak suffered at the hands of the same team. Ghana considered 2 goals, which later proved not to be enough for Uruguay, as the outcome of the Portugal vs South Korea duel proved a killer punch. La Celeste looked set to claim second spot in Group H, but South Korea's late winner against Portugal saw them advance by virtue of scoring more goals than Diego Alonso's side. Georgia and the Arrascaeta scored twice to see victory for Uruguay, but it was not enough to see them avoid an early exit alongside Ghana. Portugal and South Korea top Group H to face top 2 teams in Group G. That's Sport News. I am Adeniyi Ajisafe.
All right, with that, we'll leave you with this feature story.
جبارة نكونوا يعني على فرد قلب ولا فرد نمط ولا فرد سياسة ولا فرد طبيعة. إن شاء الله. الوزارة التونسية عندها فكرة ومتعلمة وتعرف المناخ التونسي كما يجب تعريفه، بقطع النظر على أن البذور المستوردة ليس لها علاقة بالأوطان متاعنا، وبالتالي طبعا تتأثر برشا بالمناخ وتتأثر برشا بالطبيعة. عنده طريقة وتكون عنده أراضي خاصة ببنك الجينات باش هو يكثر بذور ويبدأ هو عارفها ومشرف عليها، مش يعطيها الفلاحة. نجم فلاح تعطيه بذرة كيما هذه وتقول له كثرها لي، كي غيرها لك، كي بدلها، يعني كيف تعطيه انت نوعية وهو يرجع لك نوعية أخرى. انت شنو مش تعرف؟ ما عندهمش خبراء اللي هي نجم تفرز ما بين الحبة والحبة.
نجم تطلع مع الشخص ولا جوا ولا هكاكا.
À savoir la résistance au stress biotique, c'est-à-dire les maladies et ennemis des cultures, la tolérance au stress abiotique, c'est-à-dire les stress abiotiques, la haute température, l'hydromorphie, la sécheresse et ainsi de suite, qui ne cessent d'accentuer avec les changements climatiques. Donc les ressources génétiques autochtones, normalement, elles contiennent des gènes d'adaptation au milieu et puisqu'elles ont vécu pendant une longue période adaptées au changement climatique, elles sont adaptées aussi aux conditions édaphiques au sol dans les régions marginales. Elles sont adaptées aux problèmes des changements climatiques, la haute température, l'hydromorphie, la sécheresse et ainsi de suite. Elles contiennent des gènes de résistance aux maladies. Je ne dis pas qu'une seule variété autochtone contient tout ça, mais chaque variété autochtone a son background génétique, a son patrimoine génétique qui permet de trouver, dans ces ressources, on peut identifier des gènes de résistance qui sont utiles aujourd'hui et qui resteront utiles demain.
And with that, we've come to the end of News Hour on Trust TV. Connect with us on all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.